Welcome back beta in the digital classroom learning. Continuation of the application of animal cell culture in human as well as in the research work. Today we will discuss about the stem cells technology. So before coming to the topic stem cell technology, we must know what is the meaning of stem cells. Don't be confused, it is a part of the plant. Stem cells are something different from the stem of the plant, and these stem cells are generally present in the embryonic cells of the zygote or the body. Suppose just I make a diagram here. It is fertilized egg cell and the product is called zygote. So zygote, when divided repeatedly by the process of mitotic division, what happened? The number of cells increases into 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, like so on. So the group of cells now that is known as morula. So this morula is the cluster of the cells, and that cells which further differentiate or divide is known as stem cells. So stem cells are basically embryonic germ layer or germ cells. You must know there are three different germ layers while we study the embryology. So this stem cells technology is first of all came into existence in 1960s, and by the collaboration of the two great biotechnologies, that is Ernest Michelot and James. So this is the revolutionary contribution led by these two great scientists, and this stem cell technology is recently revolutionized by another terminology, that is apple stem cell technology. What the meaning of apple here? Apple is, you know, it is a plant. Apple is a fruit. So this apple is also having the stem cells. So what we are doing here, the use or the application of the stem cells which is present in the apple fruit, that is called the Swiss apple, is used to treat the dead schemes of the human cells. That is the renewal or regeneration of human skin cells with the help of the apple stem. So this is the latest branch of the stem cell technology that we call the apple stem cell technology. Now the question is that, do all stem cells change DNA? This is the question. Do stem cells change your DNA? Obviously it is not, because these stem cells has their own DNA. And you know, sometimes there is organ transplantation or the grafting of the cells of the tissue. So most of the cases what happen there, upon the changing even the organ also, there is no changes of the DNA. It means there is no occurrence of the mutation. So when stem cells are grafted or when the organ transplantation takes place, there is no changes takes place in the DNA of the stem cells. Now come to the general properties of stem cells or the characteristics of the stem cells. So the first general properties of stem cells are they are pluripotent. What is the meaning of pluripotent? Actually, meaning of pluripotent means it has power to regenerate, it has power to renew, it has power to multiply continuously throughout the lifetime. But contemporary to that pluripotent, there is a one more terminology existing, that we call the multipotent. Multipotent are those embryonic adult cells which have certain power of regeneration or differentiation. This is the difference between the pluripotent and the multipotent. The first general properties of the stem cells are all the stem cells are pluripotent, and there is no regardless of their size and shape of the stem cells, all the stem cells bear these three properties. First I just told pluripotent. Now second come to the capable of dividing or renewing. You know, the capable of dividing is their continuous growth as a result of mitotic division. Here meiotic division does not take place. Therefore these stem cells technology are also called as somatic stem cell. This is another name, somatic stem cell. You know, the somatic means soma means the body cells. Soma means body cells. Here we are taking out the body cells, or we are exemplified with the body cells, so we called it the somatic stem cells also. Now, third properties of the stem cells are, look at once again here. As a continuous division of the marula, there is a three stage found here. First is the MBG. M stand for morular stage, B for blastula, and G for gastrula. And these three embryonic stages are depicted in the form of the endodermis, mesoderm, ectoderm. So these are the different germ layers. So let us see here once again. These are the outermost layer of the embryonic cell, and the name is trophoblast. What we call it? Trophoblast. The outer germ layers of embryo and of an embryo is known as trophoblast, and the inner mass of the cells are known as simply inner mass cells. Here there is no role of the outer germ layer. The basic role is that it taking place in differentiation. Up to here it is undifferentiated. Undifferentiated means unspecialized cells. But upon activation or upon the triggering of the cells, because of the presence of their own DNA, it is specialized, and upon specialization it gives specialized cells. What the meaning of specialized cells there? Actually, up to this blastula, there is another stage that we call the gastrula. So upon reaching the gastrula stage, what happens there? Organogenesis takes place. It means when a baby is under the progress or under the embryonic developmental stage, you must know there is the first organ, that is the heart, and thereafter liver is constructed, and then brain is constructed. So these all are taking place behalf of the presence of the stem cells. So why I am describing this unspecialized cells to specialized cells? Because specialization means formation of a peculiar or particular organs that take part in the formation of the physiological functioning. So once again recap, there is the three properties or the three general properties of the stem cells. First one, that all the stem cells are pluripotent. Second number is they have power to divide, or they have power to renew, regenerate, and all are unspecialized cells, and which upon triggering or upon activation converted into the specialized cells. Now I would like to give an example which is a very fantastic example, that is the formation of blood cells. These blood cell formation, that is called RBC. So blood cell formation, that we call the hematopoiesis. Hematopoiesis is surprisingly having this multiple stage. You will be also surprised that 1 lakh of hematopoietic stem cells are able to deliver 1 billion RBC, 1 million platelets, 1 million T cells, T for thymus cells, and 1 million B cells. And you know that these T cells and B cells are responsible for formation of antibodies, and these unit is given for 1 kg of body weight. If somebody is having the 40 kg weight, so multiply this data and you will find the result. So this is the example. So now what is the role of stem cell technology nowadays? Stem cells technology is used in repairing the organs, and it is also useful in the study of leukemia, heart disease, paralysis, Alzheimer's disease, and bone cancer, etc. Second thing is that now what is the source of these stem cells, or where it is formed? Just I told that stem cells are basically brought from the embryonic cells, and these blood cells, that is hematopoietic cells, basically took place, or their formation begins in the body. Number one is called spleen, and number two is called bone marrow cell, BMC. Bone marrow cells, I think you know what is the bone marrow cells. Bone marrow cells. Bone marrow cells are present in the inner thickness part of the bone. When we had a longitudinal section of bone, there we find the Now come to the types of stem cells. There are three types of stem cells are given. Number one is embryonic stem cells. It has power of pluripotent, and this embryonic cell will be derived from the germ layers of the embryo, that is ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm, or you can say that morula, blastula or gastrula. Now this adult cell, these adult embryonic cells are multipotent. It means all the adult stem cells could not able to transform entirely, but they do some part of the body cells or the body organs. Now the third one is perinatal stem cells. These perinatal stem cells are very important because it is used to testing the all the general properties or what kind of a baby is growing in the mother bones of the fetus because of the presence of amniotic fluid, umbilical cord or placenta. So perinatal stem cells will present in where? In umbilical cord, amniotic fluid and placenta. Nowadays, the advanced technology is able to diagnose or able to detect all the genetic makeup with the help of these fluids. The fluid taken out, and you know the very popular technology, that is amniocentesis. Amniocentesis what? Amniocentesis is a process of detecting the sex of the child. So what we are using there? We are using the fluid taken out from the uterus. That is the amniotic fluid is taken out. Now the next part is cultivation of embryonic cell. How we cultivate or how we obtain the desired embryonic cells or the stem cells. So let us see. The fertilized zygote, it means sperm is fused with the egg cell and the resultant is the zygote. The zygote is 2s, that is the diploid cells. And what kind of process takes place here? Mitotic division takes place. Children, you must know there is a two division, meiotic and mitotic division. Mitotic division takes place in the somatic cells, whereas meiotic division takes place in the sex cells. Therefore, mitotic division maintain the chromosome number. Suppose there is 46 chromosome number, so these all cells will have the 46 chromosome number. If meiotic takes place, then what happened? 46 is divided by 2, we will get the 23 chromosome number. So as a result of mitotic cell division, the number of cells increases in the 2, 4, 8, 16 and 32, and this group of cells are known as morula cells, or it is the morula stage. Now what happened? There is some changes, internal changes takes place. As a result of that, there is some cavity-like structure. This cavity-like structure is known as blastocell, and the inner cells are called inner mass cells, and outer one is called the trophoblast. Already I have told about that. Now up to here, these embryonic germ cells, these stem cells are undifferentiated, unspecialized. Now it will be differentiated and it will give rise to the first one, that is the RBC. Next, cardiac cells. Next, nerve cells or neural cells. If I am getting here liver cells or nephron or neuron. So in this way, these germ layers or germ cells containing the stem cells have power to differentiate and responsible for organogenesis.